the real reason he couldn't stand Francis Bavier. George Lindsay was an American actor and comedian, best known for his role as the lovable, albeit somewhat dim-witted, mechanic Goober Pyle on the iconic television series The Andy Griffith Show and its successor, Mayberry RFD. Born on December 17, 1928, in Fairfield, Alabama, Lindsay grew up in the small town of Jasper, where he developed a love for entertaining at an early age. His Southern roots deeply influenced both his personality and the characters he would come to portray on screen, endearing him to fans across the country. Lindsay's early life was shaped by modest beginnings. Raised during the Great Depression, he often spoke of the struggles his family faced and the sense of community that helped them through tough times. From an early age, he had a natural talent for storytelling and mimicry, frequently entertaining classmates with his impressions and comedic timing. These early performances sowed the seeds of what would become a long and successful career in show business. Despite his penchant for performing, Lindsay's initial path in life took him in a different direction. He attended Kemper Military School in Boonville, Missouri, before transferring to Florence State Teachers College, now the University of North Alabama, where he studied biology and physical education. Lindsay had originally planned to become a teacher, and after earning his degree in 1952, he spent a few years coaching high school football in his hometown. However, his passion for acting continued to grow, and it wasn't long before he decided to pursue his dream of performing full-time. In the 1950s, Lindsay moved to New York City, where he studied at the prestigious American Theater Wing and worked hard to break into the world of professional acting. He spent years auditioning for roles and making ends meet with various odd jobs, gradually building up his acting chops in theater productions. By the early 1960s, he had moved to Los Angeles, hoping to find more opportunities in the burgeoning television industry. Lindsay's breakthrough came in 1964, when he was cast as Goober Pyle on The Andy Griffith Show, taking over for his cousin Gomer, portrayed by Jim Nabors. Goober, with his trademark beanie cap and goofy grin, quickly became a fan favorite. Lindsay brought a unique warmth and authenticity to the character, embodying the lovable, small-town spirit of Mayberry. Goober's humorous antics and kind-hearted nature resonated with audiences, and Lindsay's comedic timing and improvisational skills made him a standout on the show. This role became a defining part of his career, one that would follow him for decades as he reprised the character on various spin-offs and specials. George Lindsay, best known for his portrayal of Goober Pyle on The Andy Griffith Show, had a famously contentious relationship with Francis Bavier, who played the prim and proper Aunt Bee. While Lindsay's portrayal of Goober brought humor and warmth to the show, his interactions with Bavier off-camera were far less jovial. The friction between the two actors became a notable element in the show's behind-the-scenes lore, and there were several reasons for this tension, rooted in personality clashes, differences in acting styles, and Bavier's reputed aloofness. One of the main reasons George Lindsay reportedly couldn't stand Francis Bavier stemmed from their vastly different personalities. Lindsay, a friendly and easygoing actor from Alabama, was known for his down-to-earth demeanor and his comedic flair. He enjoyed camaraderie with his fellow cast members, particularly Andy Griffith and Don Knotts, both of whom shared his Southern roots and sense of humor. On the other hand, Bavier was more reserved and preferred to keep to herself. Unlike Lindsay, who embraced the informal, relaxed atmosphere on set, Bavier was known to be more formal and methodical in her approach to her craft. She took her role as Aunt Bee very seriously and was sometimes seen as demanding and difficult to approach. Lindsay, who thrived on light-hearted interactions, likely found this rigidity to be stifling, causing frustration. Francis Bavier was also known for being highly protective of her privacy, often retreating to her trailer between takes and avoiding social interactions with her co-stars when possible. Lindsay, who enjoyed joking and bonding with other actors, found Bavier's standoffish behavior difficult to understand. According to many accounts, Bavier's reluctance to engage socially with the cast created an awkward dynamic, especially since The Andy Griffith Show had such a tight-knit cast. For Lindsay, the lack of connection with Bavier must have been particularly challenging, as he thrived on personal relationships and easygoing banter. The actress's guarded nature could have been interpreted by Lindsay as a form of rejection or disdain, further souring their relationship. Another aspect of their tension lay in their differing acting styles. Lindsay's portrayal of Goober relied heavily on physical comedy, improvisation, and lighthearted antics, while Bavier's portrayal of Aunt Bee was more grounded in subtlety and sincerity. This contrast often made their scenes together feel tense or awkward. While Goober was meant to bring comic relief, Aunt Bee's role was often that of the nurturing, no-nonsense matriarch, and it was difficult for the two styles to complement each other. Bavier, who had a background in theater and was trained in more classical acting techniques, might have viewed Lindsay's goofier, more spontaneous approach as unprofessional. Lindsay, in turn, may have found Bavier's seriousness too stiff for the lighthearted nature of the show. This fundamental difference in how they approached their roles could have caused clashes on set, as they struggled to find common ground in their performances. In addition to personality and stylistic differences, Bavier's general discontent with her role on The Andy Griffith Show might have contributed to the friction between her and Lindsay. Bavier reportedly grew tired of being typecast as Aunt Bee, and she resented how the role had overshadowed her more varied work in the theater and in film. As the years went on, Bavier became increasingly dissatisfied with the character and the fame that came with it, sometimes taking her frustrations out on her fellow cast members. Lindsay, whose portrayal of Goober made him a beloved comedic figure, embraced his connection to the show and its legacy. The difference in their attitudes toward their roles may have exacerbated the tension. While Lindsay was content to enjoy the fame and recognition that The Andy Griffith Show brought him, Bavier's resentment likely led to further strain in their relationship, as she may have viewed Lindsay's easygoing attitude as a lack of depth or ambition. By the time Lindsay joined the cast in 1964, Frances Bavier was dealing with her own personal struggles, including health issues and a possible sense of isolation. These factors may have made her more irritable and difficult to work with. As she aged, Bavier became more reclusive, and her health began to deteriorate, which might have contributed to her distant and sometimes harsh demeanor on set. Lindsay, who was younger and more energetic at the time, might have misinterpreted Bavier's behavior as personal animosity when in fact it could have been a reflection of her declining health and emotional state. In later years, Bavier reportedly expressed regret over some of her difficult relationships with her co-stars, which suggests that the tension between her and Lindsay may have been exacerbated by factors beyond their immediate control. The tension between George Lindsay and Frances Bavier was never fully resolved. While the two maintained a professional relationship on screen, the off-screen animosity lingered, creating a sense of unease that both actors carried with them after their time on The Andy Griffith Show. In interviews later in life, Lindsay spoke candidly about the challenges of working with Bavier, though he often expressed more pity than anger toward her. He seemed to understand, in hindsight, that much of their conflict stemmed from Bavier's own struggles, but it did not erase the difficulties they faced working together. For fans of the show, the tension between Goober and Aunt Bee was largely invisible, but for those involved in the production, it was a significant aspect of the show's behind-the-scenes drama. The friction between George Lindsay and Frances Bavier was the result of a complex mix of personality clashes, differing acting styles, and personal struggles. Lindsay's affable, light-hearted nature was at odds with Bavier's more reserved and serious demeanor, creating a tension that neither could fully overcome. Despite this, both actors left an indelible mark on The Andy Griffith Show, contributing to its enduring legacy as one of America's most beloved sitcoms. Beyond The Andy Griffith Show, Lindsay's career extended into a variety of television and film roles, including appearances on Hee Haw, where his comedic talents were once again on full display. He became a staple on the country music and variety show, showcasing his knack for humor and storytelling alongside other legendary performers of the genre. Lindsay also made guest appearances on numerous TV shows, such as MASH, CHiPs, and The Twilight Zone, demonstrating his versatility as an actor. In film, he voiced characters in Disney animated features like The Aristocats and Robin Hood, further expanding his creative reach. However, George Lindsay was more than just a television personality. He was a man deeply committed to giving back to the community, particularly through his work with charitable organizations. Lindsay was a strong supporter of children's causes, and he established the George Lindsay Una Film Festival in 1998 at his alma mater, the University of North Alabama. The festival quickly became a prominent event for aspiring filmmakers, providing them with a platform to showcase their work. Lindsay's dedication to helping the next generation of artists was a testament to his generous spirit and passion for the arts. In addition to his charity work, Lindsay was known for his loyalty and kindness to his colleagues and fans. He maintained a close friendship with Andy Griffith and other cast members throughout his life, often speaking about the deep bond they formed while working on The Andy Griffith Show. His affable personality and down-to-earth demeanor made him beloved not only by his peers but also by the many fans who admired his work. In his later years, Lindsay continued to work sporadically in television and film, though he gradually shifted his focus toward his personal life and philanthropic efforts. Despite facing health issues later in life, he remained active in his charitable endeavors and was often invited to speak at events related to the entertainment industry. His dedication to uplifting others, whether through his humor or his generosity, was a hallmark of his character. George Lindsay passed away on May 6, 2012, at the age of 83, leaving behind a legacy of laughter, kindness, and compassion. His portrayal of Goober Pyle remains an iconic piece of television history, forever cementing him in the hearts of audiences as one of Mayberry's most beloved residents. His work on shows like The Andy Griffith Show and Hee Haw brought joy to millions, and his contributions to the entertainment industry, as well as his charitable efforts, left a lasting impact on those who knew him.